Hey guys, how's it going? Here are your daily fantasy baseball matchups for August 15th, 2020. First game I'm going to go over is Los Angeles Dodgers at Los Angeles Angels, Walker Buehler versus Andrew Heaney. For the Angels, Rendon, Trout, solid options, got to pay the price. For the Dodgers, Corey Seager, Chris Taylor, Max Muncy, Mookie Betts. The value there is Chris Taylor performing better than his higher priced alternatives with a home run versus Andrew Heaney in his career. Only Dodger playing today with a home run in his career versus Andrew Heaney. Next game is Texas Rangers at Colorado Rockies. Got to give a shout out for Lance Lynn for throwing a complete game, absolutely dominating the Rockies last night. I didn't think he'd be able to pull it off, but he has continued his bid for the AL Cy Young. But luckily the Rockies don't have to verse him tonight, so pick up Daniel Murphy, pick up Arenado, pick up Charlie Blackmon. They have not versed Kyle Gibson. Murphy has, and he owns an 1800 OPS and 5 at-bats. I don't think this guy Drew Butterar is even playing, so you're not worrying about him. Never seen him before. German Marquez going against this Rangers lineup. You could take Odor. I wouldn't. I would actually take guys that aren't even here. I would take Nick Solak. Only 2 at-bats. I like Nick Solak, and I would take Willie Calhoun, the lefty, and Shin-Chu. I think Odor's kind of done. Dietrich, too. I don't know how much these numbers were just from when he was really, really ridiculously hot last year. San Diego Padres at Arizona Diamondbacks. Cal Quantrill versus Alex Young. For the Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte, Eduardo Escobar at the top. And for the Padres, we have Edward Olivares with 1 home run and 1 at-bat. I don't think he'll be getting the start today, but if he does, definitely look into that. Versus the lefty, I like Machado, but not a lot of matchup data here. I think this is Alex Young was in the bullpen earlier this year. He's going back to the rotation. I don't think he's made too many major league starts, so keep an eye on Alex Young. He could be a breakout, probably not. Not too many pitchers I like thus far. Maybe German Marquez versus that Rangers lineup that's not looking too nice against him. Next matchup is Washington Nationals at Baltimore Orioles. Patrick Corbin going against Asher Wojciechowski. This Orioles lineup is not only the best against righties, they're also the best against lefties, so you got to watch out for this lineup. That being said, Patrick Corbin's pretty good. I like Corbin a lot today as a pitcher to add to my contests. Hitters you're picking up for the Orioles are Hanser Alberti, Anthony Santander, and I think it ends there. Pedro Severino if he's starting today, or Chance Sisco if he's starting today. I like either of the catchers for Orioles. Wojciechowski versus this Nationals lineup. Catcher Kurt Suzuki owns 2 home runs and 3 at-bats. Definitely pick up Suzuki today. Soto's been on fire. Pick up Soto if you have the money. And pick up Asdrubal Cabrera too, which will cost a lot less than Soto. Next matchup is Mariners at Astros. Not a lot of matchup data to talk about. None to talk about for these Astros hitters, and really none to talk about for these Mariners hitters. Take a look at J.P. Crawford, but we have 2 young pitchers going on the mound today. If you want to pick up Christian Javier, not a bad idea. He's looked pretty good. Rookie pitcher for the Astros. Next matchup is Oakland Athletics at San Francisco Giants. Sean Manaea, the lefty, going against Kevin Gausman, the righty. These Giant hitters are usually pretty good at hitting lefties, with Evan Longoria and Wilmer Flores being solid options. Same with Austin Slater. Not only have they been good against Manaea, they're just pretty good against lefties. So take a look at Evan Longoria, especially for the pop, and Wilson Ramos. I mean, not Wilson Ramos, my bad. Wilmer Flores. Still thinking about last night's Mets game, having flashbacks to that tag he missed. Kevin Gausman versus the Athletics. Not a lot of data. No one has a home run off Gausman, so there's no one I can really jump to and say pick him up. I'll say hot hand. Piscotty hit a grand slam last night. Take a look at him. If a guy hits a grand slam, I just feel like he's hot. So take a look at Stephen Piscotty. Boston Red Sox at New York Yankees. Nathan Eovaldi, which is the Red Sox ace, going against this Yankees lineup that is down Judge and Stan. Thankfully, they have Clint Frazier replacing them, so pick up Clint Frazier for a very cheap price. Luke Voigt or Mike Ford, whoever's getting the start, pick them up. I'm liking Gardner here too, just because the veteran presence going against a veteran pitcher who he's seen a couple times. So don't shy away from Gardner today. Brett Gardner. I don't like Evaldi from a pitching perspective, but I like him better actually than I like Paxton today. I think Paxton will give up more runs than Evaldi. Because Paxton's going against JD Martinez, who has 2 home runs and 19 at bats, and Xander Bogaerts, who has 2 home runs and 21 at bats. A lot of guys with high OPSs, with Devers, Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley Jr., and JD Martinez being solid options. Kevin Pillar's been swinging a good bat. Same with Kevin Pilecki. So I think this Red Sox lineup has a lot of good options from these top 5 guys, top 6 guys. And I would avoid James Paxton today to pick him up in my contests. Tampa Bay Rays at Toronto Blue Jays. Ryan Yarbrough, the lefty, going against his Blue Jays lineup. Kevin Biggio with a home run and 11 at-bats. Teoscar Hernandez, who had a great night last night. Two home runs and 16 plate appearances versus Yarbrough. Pick up Teoscar Hernandez. Randall Grichuk, not a home run, but good at OPS. He homered last night. Pick him up. Expect him to stay hot. And in this Tampa Bay lineup, not a lot of data. Manuel Margot does own a home run, though, against Chase Anderson in 8 at-bats, so take a look at him. Hunter Renfroe has a high OPS, but I don't think you're going to be counting on Hunter Renfroe tonight. But definitely take a look for a cheaper option at Renfroe and Margot. Atlanta Braves at Marlins. Max Fried going against this Marlins lineup. Not a lot of matchup data for this young team. Corey Dickerson in 2 at-bats has a home run, even though he's versing the lefty Max Fried. So if Dickerson's starting, pick him up. I'm not going to recommend you anyone after that because I just don't think there's any pop potential besides Jesus Aguilar. If I'm going to recommend anyone, I would say Jesus Aguilar. That's not based on this matchup data, but just because he has the most pop in that Marlins lineup. Spencer Turnbull, good option against this Indians lineup, especially for the price, not really bad. No home runs in Indians versus him, so I can't really give any easy recommendations. I will say Carlos Santana had a home run last night, so I would keep picking him up. I think Nate Quinn did too, or it might have been someone else. But I know Fernando Reyes did, but he doesn't have good data versus Turnbull and only 2 at-bats, though. So Santana is my guy today in the Indians lineup again. Not a lot of other guys today versus Turnbull. And don't expect the Indians to score nearly as much runs as they did, nearly as many runs as they did yesterday. Spencer Turnbull's looked pretty solid this year so far. Shane Bieber going against his Tigers lineup. Hopefully Shane Bieber continues his dominance. He's going to be picked up in a lot of contests. So maybe for that reason you don't pick up Shane Bieber, because if everyone owns him, you're not really getting an edge and getting ahead. So Shane Bieber versus the Tigers, no one's hit a home run off him. Not too many at-bats. Not too many high OPSs. The only 2 people to OPS above 700 against him are Christian Stewart and Cameron Maybin. So take a look at Christian Stewart for this Tigers lineup. Next matchup is Pittsburgh Pirates at Cincinnati Reds. Steven Brault, the lefty, going against this Reds lineup. Nick Castellanos and Freddie Galvis have homered in their career versus Steven Brault, so pick them up. Tucker Barnhart with okay numbers, so if he's catching today, pick him up. And take a look at Nick Senzel, only 3 at-bats, but he's a different guy now. He's the guy now that we expected him to be. He's becoming the high-hyped guy that he once was. So Nick Senzel today against Steven Brault. Trevor Bauer looks like the most expensive option of the day. Righty going against this Pittsburgh lineup, who is abysmal against righties. No home runs in their career versus Trevor Bauer. Not too many plate appearances. So I'm fading all these Pirates today. Trevor Bauer is, he could do what Anthony DeSclafani did the other day, but Bauer seems to be really trying to earn that money this year. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, and he's doing whatever he can to make sure he gets the big bucks. Steven Matz and Aaron Nola dueling it out with Mets at Phillies. Matz hasn't been too bad this year, but this Phillies lineup has hit him around, especially at the top. I like Rhys Hoskins today. 3 home runs versus Matz in his career. I don't think Hoskins has actually homered yet this year, but he's been walking his butt off. So Hoskins today versus Matz. Bryce Harper, I don't think you're going to pay the price for Harper again, but if you do, go ahead. Kingery's interesting because I don't know if Kingery's going to be starting today. take a look at Alec Bohm, the rookie who got called up 2 days ago for the Phillies. He's your righty, so I'm guessing he hits lefties well, and there's definitely pop in that bat. So if Kingery's not starting, take a look at Alex Bohm and take a look at Gene Segura. For this Mets lineup going against Aaron Nola, I can't recommend Luis Guillermo even though I want to. I just don't think there's enough pop in that bat. Robinson Cano homered yesterday. I'll recommend him. I would love to recommend Alonso, but he's been slumping so bad. I'll say Wilson Ramos. Give him a shot. I think he has a better chance of getting a hit off Aaron Nola than he does other guys. I don't think Aaron Nola is really high velocity like a lot of major league pitchers are. He relies more on that changeup. So I think Wilson Ramos will have a good day today for the Mets. Kansas City Royals at Minnesota Twins. Danny Duffy, a guy I like but has never really put it together, versus Jose Barrios. 4 home runs for Nelson Cruz versus Danny Duffy. So Nelson Cruz is the chalk of the day with the hitters. Everyone's going to be picking up Nelson Cruz. If you don't pick him up, that means you might get left behind. But if you do pick him up and he doesn't homer, you're just standing there with no points. So you kind of got to pick up Nelson Cruz, I guess. 4 home runs and 25 plate appearances. Pretty ridiculous. Brian Buxton, I like Brian Buxton here. 1 home run and 11 at-bats. Miguel Sano, not a guy I particularly like, especially with the off-field stuff. But hey, a lot of pop in that bat. Same with Jorge Polanco. So Sano, Jorge Polanco, Buxton, and Cruz in this Twins lineup. On the other side, we have Barrios versus this Royals lineup. Nicky Lopez ain't going to give you too much pop. Miguel Franco is not reliable. I don't think you're picking up anyone here. If you want to pick up Nicky Lopez, you can pick him up. But like I said, you're not going to get a home run from Nicky Lopez. Very small chance. Obviously, he'll hit a couple this year, so maybe today will be the day. Now, these games from now on, this Minnesota game starts at 4:35. These next games at 3. These games probably won't be on most slates. They'll be showdowns or whatever, or short slate things. Milwaukee Brewers at Chicago Cubs. Adrian Hauser versus Colin Ray. Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, and Jason Hayward each with a home run. I like Schwarber a lot. Schwarber is a really good power option. I think Schwarber's the guy I'll recommend for the Cubs today. Lefty bat going against the righty Hauser. And Jed Jerko, only guy with a home run so far versus Colin Ray in this Brewers lineup. But Yelich has a great OPS, so Yelich or Jerko. I'll say save your money and pick up Jerko for half the price, who's just as likely, if not more, to give you a home run. Next matchup we have is Ian Kennedy at Jake Odorizzi. This game got rained out yesterday. Odorizzi was supposed to pitch against Junis. I guess they skipped Junis' spot in the rotation. So, versus Kennedy, Alex Avila, Max Kepler, Eddie Rosario, and Miguel Sano have a home run. So, I would definitely target Alex Avila, Max Kepler, Eddie Rosario, and it ends there. I'm not going to pick up Sano because the average and OBP are really bad. And OPS isn't even good, really, against Ian Kennedy. Nelson Cruz, funny enough, he's great in that second game he has today, but he's not too good in the first game versus Ian Kennedy. And Jake Odorizzi, in his history versus Jorge Soler, has given up 2 home runs in 9 plate appearances. Whit Merrifield has hit 3 home runs in 19 plate appearances. That's funny. The other day I said I'm surprised Whit Merrifield has that much against one guy. I don't know if it was Jake Odorizzi, but pick up Whit Merrifield today. And take a look at Alex Gordon and Salvador Perez. Like I said, anytime you can find a catcher who has decent numbers against a pitcher, gravitate towards him. Gravitate towards Salvador Perez today. Next game, back from the dead are the St. Louis Cardinals with Adam Wright going against Lucas Giolito of the White Sox. Edwin Encarnacion is the only guy who has a home run against Adam Wainwright. But this is a White Sox lineup that is filled with young hitters. So you got guys like Eloy Jimenez and who's the other one? Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert. Yeah, so look at them two guys saying Edwin Encarnacion. And last matchup of the day is Lucas Giolito versus Cardinals lineup. Dexter Fowler, only guy with a homer. So Dexter Fowler will be the only guy I recommend. Take a look and see if Dylan Carlson will be coming up for this Cardinals lineup, who is looking to make a push for the playoffs. And before I end the video, I just want to go over the team success versus handiness so far this year. The Yankees are versing a righty, and they are the best team today that is fared against righties. Pirates are the worst, so don't expect too many runs from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Texas, Milwaukee, and Detroit. Maybe look to take the under in that Cleveland-Detroit game for runs, or maybe look to take Detroit. They did lose to the Indians yesterday, but with how bad Cleveland's been with scoring runs against righties, I don't think that it'd be too hard for Detroit to win. Washington Nationals have actually been abysmal versus righties. So take a look at that Orioles team going against Patrick Corbin. I bet you the Orioles will be a heavy underdog going against the ace Patrick Corbin. Definitely take a look at that. And on the other side, teams going against lefties. See Baltimore really good against lefties. Phillies, okay. Houston, not that bad. But the bottom here, funny enough, you have Atlanta, who is one of the top teams against righties, and Dodgers, one of the top teams against righties. So Dodgers did win yesterday. Braves did not. Braves lost to the Marlins by a lot. So Marlins aren't too good against the lefty they're versing today, so keep that in mind. But anytime the Marlins are playing the Braves and the Marlins are throwing a lefty and the Braves are throwing a righty, take the Marlins. And I wouldn't shy away from taking the Angels today against this Dodgers lineup. I just think they don't really have too many, besides Chris Taylor and Mookie Betts, they don't really have any solid guys to hit against a lefty pitcher. Like I said yesterday, a lot of their power and production comes from those big lefty bats in Muncy, Bellinger, and Peterson. That'll be it for today, guys. Good luck, and have a good one.